Welcome back to the Cohn Zone. This is not the Cohn Zone. This is the Cohn Phone. I got confused. I forget which show I'm doing these days because I do a lot. So this is Cohn Phone Day, and I got a new format for the Cohn Phone because yesterday I was sitting there, I realized, people love the Cohn Phone. I love the Cohn Phone, but it's really your day. It's your day to come on and be the star. I just kind of listened. I barely said a word yesterday. It was pretty funny. I'm just like, hey, good idea. Next caller. Good idea. Next caller. Good idea. Next caller. I liked it. So what I'm going to do, that's what happens when I go live before 10 a.m. Hold on. What I'm going to do is come on a little like 5 minutes early on the Cohn Phone and give my little spiel for the day, give you something to think about, something to react to. If you want it, you don't. You already know what you want to talk about. And then I'll spend the next 60 minutes listening to you guys because you guys are extremely interesting and you have ideas I hadn't considered. So here's what I'm saying. Let me start off. The one topic I got for today. All of a sudden, Jimmy Garoppolo is getting a lot of press back in New England. All offseason, it was national reports and local Bay Area reports about Jimmy Garoppolo. And the reports, if you believe the stuff out here from the respected journalists out here, are nothing to see here. Jimmy Garoppolo's coming back. Niners want him, and they don't lie. We're going to take them at face value because they said so. And we like them. So that's what we hear out here. Nothing to see here. Jimmy Garoppolo staying in New England. They're talking like he's plan A for the Patriots, and they don't really have a plan B. Like they're intent on getting him back. That was, who was that? Greg Bedard a couple of days ago. Today, Mike Reese, equally respected over in, where is that? Foxborough, Providence, Boston, whatever. On the other side of the world, the country. Very respected over there, Mike Reese, if you haven't heard of him. He says the Patriots would be willing to, or he speculates that a fair trade would be the Patriots' second this year or Stephon Gilmore. Wow. We're over here saying like maybe the Niners should cut Jimmy Garoppolo, or maybe if they could just get like a fifth or anything, they should take it. Well, slow down there, partner. Over in New England, you got the Matt Mayokos of New England saying, well, how about a second round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo? How about a second round pick? I mean, he doesn't fit their offense, but he'd be great. To which I say, like, what are the Niners waiting for? I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's worth a second, or Stephon Gilmore right now. Trade him. He could walk down the street and twist his ankle. He's got a bad ankle. That ankle, it'll just come up and bite you. I mean, something could happen to him. He is an accident waiting to happen. Why are you waiting? So I'm thinking, why are the Niners waiting? There's got to be a good reason, and there's probably a good reason. Sure, Jimmy Garoppolo could have a freak butter knife accident while buttering his bread or making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while when he's cutting the crusts off. Maybe I don't want to even say it because with Jimmy Garoppolo, it could happen. So barring a freak injury while he's walking his dog or putting away the laundry, it only benefits the Niners to wait, because if the Patriots feel the way the insiders in New England seem to think they feel, they really want Jimmy Garoppolo. Like that's the only plan. They're not particularly interested in starting over with a rookie. They're not particularly interested in any other guy they're not interested in Teddy Bridgewater or Cam Newton. It's Jimmy. And, Sunil, big MVP of the show, he might be here today. Already laid it out. Bill Belichick's older. He doesn't have time to develop another quarterback. He doesn't have the luxury to have a bunch of losing seasons while Tom Brady's winning championships in Tampa. He needs to go now. He needs to be back in the playoffs now, and Jimmy Garoppolo is the key. He knows the system. They already developed him. He's available. So, okay, if that's how they feel, then the Niners can say, all right, well, we're not feeling like trading them right now. They can wait. We'll just wait, because maybe the Patriots will up their offer a little bit. It's worth finding. Maybe the Patriots will. You never know what could happen. Wait a month. Wait until the draft happens. See if the Patriots throw in an extra 2022 draft pick or something like that. Now, for me, I would take the second round pick, not Gilmore. Nothing against Gilmore, but he's a 30-year-old cornerback who signed for one more year. So you get 1 year of a 30-year-old cornerback. You're probably not going to go. The Niners probably aren't going anywhere next year anyway, and you lose them. Nah, give me the second round pick. You could get a really good player in the second round, or you could take that pick, package it, move up, get the quarterback you want. You could do all kind of stuff. I think the second round pick probably be worth more than Stephon Gilmore if you're talking trading. You wouldn't be trading for Gilmore to then trade him away, but you could do that with a pick. It's capital. It's valuable. So I would take the second round pick now, but I see what the Niners are saying. Let's wait. Maybe wait until the draft happens. The Patriots might get desperate. They clearly already have their backup plan lined up, Teddy Bridgewater. That's obvious. He'll be cheaper. They can probably trade Jimmy Garoppolo for a second during the draft and then trade Teddy Bridgewater get him for like a fifth or a sixth or something like that. And also from the Niners perspective, it probably it works in their favor to wait and draft a quarterback and then trade Jimmy Garoppolo, because that's one quarterback the Patriots can't take. Maybe the Patriots end up taking a quarterback in round 1 and they decide, we don't like Jimmy Garoppolo as much anymore and we're going to give you less for him. So you take a potential quarterback off the board the Patriots might have been interested in. And it allows you to maneuver and get the quarterback you want without the entire league knowing for certain that that's what you want to do in round 1. If you trade Jimmy Garoppolo today, it'll be hard to get the quarterback you want in round 1 because everyone knows you got to do it. And if you try to trade up, they're gonna tax you. They're gonna gouge you because they know you're desperate. So maybe this is a way for the Niners to not be desperate during the draft. Maybe, if they're targeting Kyle Trask or Kellen Mond or Justin Fields or whoever it is, Mac Jones, it allows them to move a little more covertly. And so it takes away their desperation, even though everyone knows. But the idea is maybe there's some question on what the Niners want to do. Maybe, and then it just creates desperation with the Patriots. So I get what they're doing. If the Patriots really are willing to offer a second round pick, then this trade is going to go down before that second round pick happens. I guarantee that. So maybe this happens, day of the draft, day before the draft. Niners will just wait. He just better not sprain his ankle or, stub his toe. Something like that, Walk into a door. Walk into a street sign. Things happen. So let's get to the calls. Thank you for indulging me. First, I'm going to put it there. Boom. And now I'm going to put it in the description. Boom. And the way it works here, look, we got an hour. Okay. I'd like, and this is your time to shine. You guys aren't coming on to ask me questions. You're coming on to tell the world how it is with the 49ers. I like that. Do your thing. But please try to limit yourself to 3-4 minutes. Because if everyone did 3-4 minutes, I could get 15 people through here today and we get 15 stars of the day. Also, if I didn't get you yesterday, I'll try to bump you up to the top of the line. Because I know a lot of people were waiting and didn't get there. So I'll try to get you too. First, we're going to start with Mr. Lee. Lee, you there?
Yo, what's up, Grant?
What's up, man? I missed you yesterday. I'm sorry about that. How you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I know you were hoping I would buy you like 15 seconds. You're getting set up. You're good.
All good. See this?
Yeah. So what's on your mind?
Yeah, just with like the quarterback situation. Yeah, I just think like realistically this whole offseason, I just haven't thought like they're gonna move on from Jimmy. I feel like they're so desperate to win that they just want to run it back and try and get back there. And obviously they've lost pieces like Defoe and that. That's why I think it's so crucial they re-sign a guy like Trent Williams because he helps not only in the passing game but also in the run game. And you got to protect Jimmy and give him time if we're going to have that success. And you look at guys in this draft, Grant. There's just like when you're sitting at 12, you're not really in a position to get one of the top guys. You got guys like Lawrence, he'll go early. Zach Wilson could go 2 to the Jets or 3 or 4. And then a guy like Justin Fields, I think, has too much upside to fall to 12. And then you look at other guys like Mac Jones and you look at a guy like Trey Lance. I think I'm not high on either of these guys. You look at Trey Lance, he's got huge boom or bust chance. And then you look at a guy like Mac Wilson and Mac Jones, from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And he just doesn't really have a huge potential, I think, in the NFL. He doesn't have like any superior weapons or skill set. And you look at a guy like Jimmy G and you compare the two, right? And Jimmy could end up easily being a better quarterback between the two.
That's
And
true.
the key,
If Jimmy could stay healthy, yeah, that's true.
yeah. And the key thing is here, I think, the draft is so crucial this year because they need a winning season. And when I look at it, like, realistically, they're going to stick with Jimmy. Like, I just don't see them moving on and taking the big risk on a rookie because, as you know, this Grant, like, the chances you get to a Super Bowl with a rookie, I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it
In
never
the
has.
history of
It never
NFL.
has. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you look at guys like the chances of them getting to the playoffs with a rookie, that's not high either. There's been guys, I think, like Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott that have done it.
hmm
But it's a very low chance. And that's why I think they're going to stick with Jimmy. That's just my opinion this whole like offseason. And
Real
I
quick,
just don't think it's.
let me throw a counter. I'm not sure that they will. So let me say what I think is going to happen. What if they take some quarterback in round 1 and then trade Jimmy to the Patriots and then trade for Teddy Bridgewater, and their quarterback is Teddy Bridgewater, and they have this backup who will be ready in 2022 or could get some playing time along the way. That's what I think they're at least preparing for. If the Patriots make them an offer they can't refuse.
I have no problem, if they get a good offer from the Patriots, like, a second or third rounder. But so you think they're going to get a bridge quarterback like Teddy to come in and then draft someone in the first round
or second round? I think that's what's going to happen. Although maybe the Patriots don't offer the pick, but from what I'm hearing in New England, what the reports out of New England are is that the Patriots want him and have the cap space and the draft capital and make a competitive. Maybe the Niners are just waiting. So
yeah, well, if that happened, like, I think, there's probably our last chance to get something for Jimmy. So, coming to the end of this contract and the money you save, it's a lot. And it would be there's so much beneficial, advantages in that. But the thing is, it just depends, if that deal does go through. A guy like Teddy Bridgewater, I don't see much difference between him or Jimmy. But, he's a decent quarterback and get you wins. But if you're going to go for a rookie, I just feel like, I don't think you're looking to compete now. Like, I don't see much point in bringing back Trent Williams if you're going to let go of Jimmy, or unless you're going to have a veteran there that can get you wins now.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. You make a good case. If the Niners do keep Jimmy Garoppolo, that'll be the reason, because they do want to make a run, and they probably can't do it with anyone other than him. I'm not sure that they can do it with him anymore. But if he can stay on the field, he'll give him a shot. Lee, thanks for coming on, man. Is that an LSU jersey? What is that?
Yeah, LSU.
Is that Jamarcus Russell? No.
Nah, it's OBJ.
I love it, man. Hey, thanks for coming on.
Man.
Peace.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks for
Cheers, man. Have a good one. All right.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. What's going on?
Okay, I wanted to talk about Josh Rosen.
Oh, let's do it.
Okay, so you said you discussed with Maverick that whether he can be salvaged. And you talked about Golden Nuggets, and they revealed something very interesting, that he has a problem with work ethic.
Or he did when he was in high school, college, maybe even the first couple of years in the NFL. That's the reputation that he created for himself. Yeah,
exactly. Now, he has the talent as well. So I believe in today's, not just in NFL, all the modern professional sports, the Josh Rosen type players have a very slim chance to succeed. The reason is this. Now, first thing, the type of players, what I'm talking about, naturally gifted, highly talented, but have some work ethic problem and maybe have some extended social life, partying, etc. Right?
Sure.
So the reason is two things. First thing is the way organizations are operating, it has changed. So it's more streamlined, more process oriented. It's data driven. You have more details. For example, like 15, 20 years ago, we just had like players' weight, height, 40-yard dash. But today we have his sleep quality, fat ratio. I mean, every small injury, you get MRI scanned, everything, right? So ideally, these players, they have the ability to overcome what they don't do on the practice field with their natural talent. They can do it, not just in NFL, where I come from, cricket. There were so many players like that. That's the first thing. The second thing is, the most important thing is, the surrounding universe has changed. What happened to Dwayne Haskins? He went out, broke the team protocol, went out party. But what was the difference? He was the first person to do this. But
Yes.
people have smartphones. Somebody took a picture. He was fired.
Right.
Cam Newton, he was harassed on his own coaching camp. ESPN analysts, they were discussing whether Cam Newton, responded in a proper way.
Yeah.
I mean, in the old days, that story would come out in Cam Newton's autobiography.
True.
Right?
True.
Now it has
True.
all changed.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult. So I will throw you one quick example. So let's take Brett Favre. When he was drafted overall 33rd, Falcons coach didn't like him, right? So what did Brett Favre do? He extended his social life, partying, drinking, etc. Right? So sometimes he would show up to the practices, hungover, smelling alcohol, everything. And remember, even before he joined NFL, he had a serious car crash. He was partying out late. Serious injury, didn't threaten his career. But still, that story was local. It was not on, I believe, not on national level news, right? And now, his stats as a Falcon, 5 snaps, 1 sack, 2 interceptions, 2 incompletions. Last week, Kurt Warner told to NBC Sports about Josh Rosen, basically based on his statistics, not on his talent, right?
Right.
Now let's think. 2021, we trade Jimmy Garoppolo for Stephen Gilmore to Patriots. We get Andy Dalton or Teddy Bridgewater as our bridge quarterback. And we trade down to 19th position in the draft, right? We have Brett Favre with Atlanta Falcons, who just spent a year with all these colorful stories.
That's right. That's right.
Give away your 19th position for Brett Favre now.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I think that's great. And you're saying Josh Rosen is their Brett Favre?
I mean, it can be.
It could be. It could be.
Yes.
I think Josh Rosen. I watched a lot of Josh Rosen. I've watched a lot of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is a chicken with his head cut off. He doesn't know how to execute plays. And, Adam Gase isn't great, but he's not awful either. And when you watch the coaches tape, you see open receivers all the time and Sam Darnold looking the other way.
Yes.
So when I watch Rosen, I don't see that. I see a guy who basically executes pretty well for a young guy, but a guy on terrible offenses.
Yes.
Terrible offensive coordinators who have gotten fired right after working with Rosen. It's not like he's dropping back and there's all these open options and he's like, no, I want to scramble around. No, that's Darnold. Yes. Rosen is like, I'm trying to execute. You freaking stink. These receivers stink. I'm getting crushed, and it's my fault. So that's what I see. I got to move on to the next caller, but I'm glad that you brought Josh Rosen back into the conversation because he's dropped off, and he needs to be talked about. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll see you soon. All right. Sai.
Hey, Grant. How are you?
How you doing? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it is definitely an interesting week with after the Chris Sims pod drop and with all the analysis of the rookie quarterbacks. It was definitely interesting to listen to him and also all the analysis that you did.
Thank you.
Subsequently.
So
here is what I was thinking. And again, with all these different things that is going on when it comes to the quarterback options, I was trying to go back to again what Kyle would do, right, in this case. And there is 2 things that stand out to me based on what we know about Kyle. The first one is he's very late and slow when it comes to accepting mistakes. That's number 1. And number 2 is if he really likes a guy, then he's going to go and get that guy and try to make it work. So if I look at those 2 things, what I think will happen is, like, when it comes to accepting the mistake, I still think that he will stick on to Garoppolo for now, because if you think back, it was just a year ago they made that big decision, right, to stick with Garoppolo instead of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And now pretty much this entire season was lost because of the injury. So if he's ready, of course, injury is a big factor in all of this, like we have discussed. But if he decides to move on now from Garoppolo, it's almost like he's admitting the mistake that they should have gone from last year. So they would have had to go and get Tom Brady. Yes. So I I don't think he's going to get rid
Right,
of.
hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is right. If they get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo now and replace him with Teddy Bridgewater, it doesn't take a genius to be like, hey, Kyle, couldn't you have replaced him with Tom Brady last year and you waited a year and replaced him with Teddy Bridgewater? What was that? Good call.
Yeah. What was that?
Open yourself up. You open yourself up for criticism. It's obvious.
Correct. Exactly. So that's admitting mistake. So that's number one. And number two, I feel that again, I somehow sense that he has this fascination for Sam Darnold. I know that you've put out all the detailed analysis
Might be
that
right.
it's not going to work, but I just feel that he's going to go. I mean, we listened to what Mike Shanahan talk about him before the draft, and I also feel that right now he might probably get some additional inside information, given that LaFleur and Salah and all these people are there to understand a bit more on what is going on. So I still feel that, assuming that Jets go with Zach Wilson at number 2, and the fact that the rest of the league is probably not going to want Sam Darnold because they are seeing the same film as you pointed out. So maybe they can get Sam Darnold for cheap. And I almost feel that Kyle's dream quarterback room next week, I mean, I shouldn't say dream, but what he would be shooting for is Jimmy Garoppolo, Sam Darnold, and Josh Rosen. And I think that again, and I feel because he would prefer Sam Darnold to any of the other rookie quarterbacks. That's the point. I don't think he's going to go and make a play to trade up to get the quarterback that he thinks is going to be the right fit. And if you look at the second round quarterbacks, probably he feels that he can get Sam Darnold for a next year second. So I feel that it's going to be Jimmy, Sam Darnold, and I don't think he'll do the same mistake that he did with Jimmy. So he's going to probably wait to see how Sam Darnold learns, and maybe I know he has only 1 year left in the contract, but he'll probably try to see what happens next year. Maybe give him a small bridge deal, sort of what Jacoby Brissett signed, and deals of that nature, rather than signing into this highest paid quarterback. But I still feel that he's going to go after Sam Darnold when all said is done, and he's going to stick on to Jimmy. Now, if New England comes with a massive trade, like we are talking about, they're willing to overpay for Jimmy, then by all means, I feel that they would move on from Jimmy and maybe get a Bridgewater or somebody else. Still have Sam Darnold. I don't think he's going to let go of that.
Right. If New England wants to trade some conditional pick that could become a first rounder if they make the playoffs with Jimmy, then absolutely, yeah. But
exactly.
Otherwise, they could always wait. They could do it during the season. You could wait till the trade deadline. They could do it again next year.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
And with going with this approach, they still have the option of getting Deshaun Watson if they want it in the future.
Yes.
I just feel that it's going to be Jimmy, Sam Darnold, and Josh Rosen for the quarterback room.
They have Jimmy Garoppolo. They know the Patriots want him. You can you can wait. Just wait.
You can wait. There's a couple of other things, Grant. I wanted to get your thoughts. I thought maybe it's not getting enough interest. So one is, what do you think about Seattle and Houston just trading quarterbacks? I feel that it could end up that Russell Wilson is in Houston, and
the problem with that is Russell Wilson would have to okay that deal. He might not want to go to Houston. I mean, would you
have a no trade clause?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Hey, they might just
do it.
Get rid of him, and if he doesn't want to play, and for Houston, I think that this might work out pretty well if they can get.
I think that's clever. Works for it's 1 for 1, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that works.
Then the last one that I'm also curious about is, what if Breeze does something similar to what Brady did? It looks like New Orleans is ready to move on from him. They're pretty much restructured his contract, but we saw that Drew Brees is working out. Maybe they decide to mutually part ways, and Brees feels that, hey, he still wants to give it a shot, but it's probably not going to be with Saints. So do you think Kyle will be faced with another question where he has a chance to sign Drew Brees on this 1 or 2 year deal? I think that'll be really interesting.
It will be interesting, and I ultimately think Kyle will not want Drew Brees, because I think Kyle wants a quarterback that'll allow him to call 40 runs in a game if necessary and 8 passes. And Drew Brees wouldn't let that happen. Am I wrong? I mean, it seems like if you have a problem with Tom Brady, you might have a problem with any quarterback who has like a spine.
Yeah, That's true.
Physically,
I
though,
just feel that
Breeze
maybe
is better
Breeze,
than Garoppolo.
correct, because he can really at this point maybe Breeze is ready to take that that different role. Maybe he wants
Yes.
to get one more, and again, it's all his game is all the quick passing game, right? With the shot, that's
Yeah.
perfect for Kyle, and with a running game. I just thought it might be
You
interesting.
missed
if
on
that
Tom
scenario-
Brady last year.
Exactly.
Teddy Bridgewater isn't going to move the needle. Drew
Yeah.
Brees just might.
Exactly.
I hadn't thought of that. I've been thinking Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers. What about Drew Brees if he's just available? Well, they would have to beef up that offensive line because he got hurt
Correct.
last year big time.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
the Saints really had a good offensive line the last few years. That was there. But still, he gets rid of the ball so quickly. I like it. Let me think about that. Why not?
Why not?
What if he comes out and says, I want to play for the Niners like Tom Brady did last year? Are they going to be like, sorry, we kind of like Teddy Bridgewater in backup from a couple of years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
If they're interested in Teddy, they might be interested in Breeze because they're quite similar, except Breeze is 8 times better.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. I just think it's a interesting thing. And the last thing is when it comes to draft, I feel that Niners are going to get a corner in the first round, one of those top 3 corners, unless they get Stephon Gilmore. Even otherwise, if we get Stephon Gilmore, they're probably not signing Verrett. Right. But I think that they're going to get one of those top 3 corners. I'll be extremely surprised if they don't.
They have to. They have to. They don't have any corners on the roster. They can be in denial about their offensive linemen, but they don't have corners. So, yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great call, Sai.
All right.
I'm going to be thinking about that Drew Brees thing all day. Have a good one.
Yeah. All right. Let's go for it. Thank you.
All right. See you, man.
Bye.
That was a strong call. All right. Real quick, I want to take some questions from that people donated for. I don't want them to waste their money. Is there a way the Niners could draft cornerback Horn and Mond? Yeah, trade down. And re-sign Verrett and Trent Williams. Yeah, get rid of Jimmy. You get rid of Jimmy, you can re-sign both of those guys. Trade down, you can get guys. Okay, I got calls. Hold on, I'm going to go quick because I got to take more calls. But just a second, people. Just a second. Man, this is getting... Oh, hold on. Okay, so hold on. Blah, blah, blah. Raymond Martinez says, should the Niners trade Jimmy right before free agency? Go sign a cheap deal quarterback in free agency, save your draft capital, load up an offensive line and CB. Yes, if they can get a 2, trade him now. Save the cap, save the money, use the cap space now. Beef up the team now. If you wait until the draft, the cap saving doesn't really help you until after, June 1. So yeah, if they, yes, trade them now. Moving on. Leo. Thanks, man. Appreciate you for just the little donation there. And hold on, one more. Get rid of Jimmy, save $23 million now. You're at 46, and get Gabe J and Corey Linsley, grab Slater and Breeze in free agency, draft Trask for backup. Hey, Leo, that was a $15 suggestion considering the other one. Get rid of Jimmy now. You're at 46. Beef the offensive line up. Love that. And grab Slater. Breeze in free agency. Trask as well. Hey, Leo, good stuff. Love it. Okay, let's move on. Hey, what's up, Niners all day?
What up? How's your day?
What up? Good, man. How's your day going?
Good. Let's go. So I'm gonna lay out the plan I have. So what's called the first donation kind of ruined my plan for trading down. I would say trade down with the Vikings for the 14th pick. And then Vikings get the 12th, and then we get a second from theirs. What's called and take J.C. Horn with the 14th pick. And then after we trade up and take Mond tell him Mond, before the Saints before the Saints deal, because if they get Kellen Mond, then that's a really good team. And then for free agency, like before the draft, I should have gone this in the order, but we should go to tender Manuel Mosley.
Okay.
I think we can. We trade Jimmy for a second so we can free up cap space so we can resign Trent Williams.
Okay.
And then resign Jason Verrett so we can beef up that cornerback position, because we don't want to go thin into the season without no corners, especially with no training camps or OTAs.
Okay.
And then we
you got this on like a spreadsheet, don't you? You got like a whole spreadsheet laid out. Yep. I love it, man. Nice organization.
Yep. And then we signed a British quarterback in Ryan Fitzpatrick, the smart guy, for a 1-year deal, so he can mentor Kellen Mond.
I like it, man. Very ambitious offseason, man. But what I like more is your hat, the town. Did I ask you last time where you live?
What's called? I used to live in San Jose, but I moved here up in Oregon.
Oh, well, at least you're repping Oakland all the way from Oregon. I appreciate that because that's where I live. Let me digest what you told me. I'm gonna go back and watch it later, and we'll talk about it next time because that was a whole lot. Also, but it was very smart.
Also, like 2 things with Ramsey. I would cut Richburg and then sign Alex Mack and Gabe Jackson.
Smart moves, man. Smart moves, man. Have a great day up in Oregon.
Thank you. Yeah.
Of course. What's up, homie?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, man. Don't look at me. I want your eyes on the road, and we'll talk, okay?
Fair enough.
You dare. All right.
So I think, based off a few observations, factual observations, I honestly think the Niners are the team to beat in the NFC West. And my reasoning is that salary cap number.
Okay.
Out of any team, the only team right now in the NFC that has more cap space than the 49ers are currently.
Say it again. You broke up a little bit. Which team has? You broke up a little bit. Which is the only team that has more cap space than the Niners in the NFC?
The Washington.
Oh, wow.
The Washington football team.
Good call.
It's by a wide margin. They're number one in the NFC. The rest of the teams in the NFC are basically over the salary cap. You have a third, it looks like, of the teams that are strapped for salary cap. The 49ers are about 20, 21 million, whatever. Over
with the ability to create more necessary. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So successful decisions, successful businesses, anything that involves success involves choices, the amount of choices you have. If you only have one choice, right, you're pretty much stuck with that choice. You know, the 49ers, before free agency start, they can go any way they want. They can cut Jimmy, have the most cap space in the NFC. They can keep Jimmy, have a lot of cap space, or have okay cap space after they finagle.
Comparatively,
Comparatively.
Because no one has cap space this year,
Correct. But, you know, the interesting is they're the only team that has cap space that has a quote-unquote quarterback. Everybody else that does have cap space does not have a quarterback.
Or they have the guy on the rookie deal, right? Yep.
Correct. But even so, that the majority of the teams that don't have a cap space or don't have a quarterback that's, you know, middle of the road, 30s, whatever you want to call it, that's where I think the 49ers have a competitive advantage, not in the quarterback position, because I will agree with you. 3rd and 10, fourth quarter, I want Stafford throwing that deep route over Jimmy.
But the Rams are over the cap. Like they have to do some slashing, don't they?
Correct. Who is Stafford going to be throwing to, right? Who is going to be protecting Stafford? And more importantly, that defense, you know, the 49ers had injuries, but they didn't miss a beat because of depth. And I can't see a lot of those teams. Now, the playoffs were a good example. The Rams looked completely different when Aaron Donald was on the field versus when he wasn't on the field. I mean, they looked incredible, much like the 49ers do when Bosa's is on the field. So in my opinion, the 49ers can separate themselves in the quarterback area, because I don't think anyone that you're going to get besides Deshaun Watson is going to put you over that edge. Right. But
Sam Darnold for sure won't.
Nope. But a breakdown of corners, offensive line, if they can fix those areas, and they have the options to do that, as well as the offensive line, as well as, you know, they probably have the best tight end group, best running back group already in the division. So if they can fix their weaknesses and they have the options to do that, the other teams do not. That's the other piece of it. They can't get any better. They've gotten better. This is what they're going to be. 49. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to. They may miss, right? We've seen them miss, but they have the opportunity to do that. And I don't think that gets talked about enough. Parag is usually maligned in 49er lore because of what happened to Harbaugh and all that stuff. But credit to them and how they structured their salary cap. Because John Lynch was saying they have plenty of space, and we were like, "Where's this space coming from?" And lo and behold, the 25 under. Right.
Well, let's see what they do with it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on and giving a more positive spin. I hadn't really considered that. Thank you.
Hey, you have a good day.
All right, you too. I'll see you soon, man.
See you.
All right, Jacob, I'm going to try to get some people that weren't on later, but I'm going to get to you. So don't worry. But I got to get Shardall and a couple guys who didn't get to go yesterday. What's up, Shardall? Hey, you're muted. There you go.
My question is, should the 49ers sign Deshaun Jackson after the Philadelphia Eagles released him?
No, should they? He's too old. I think he's too old. The Niners have become an old team.
Oh, and then the second question is, should the 49ers draft Zach Wilson at number 5 in the 2021 NFL draft?
I don't like Zach Wilson. He may not drop to 5. There's a little bit of an echo. Real quick, are you on Twitter?
No, I'm on StreamYard.
No, I mean, do you have a Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, well, check out my page. I retweeted an article this morning about Zach Wilson that just totally was not very complimentary. Check that out. Tell me what you think, because I'm not really into Zach Wilson that much. So check that out. It's on my Twitter page.
I'll check that out.
All right, man. See you next time, Shardall.
See ya.
See ya. Oh, with the haircut.
What's up, Grant?
Oh, with the haircut. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, I had to, man. Jesse and Jeff are looking sharp. Yeah, I had to step my game up.
I'm getting one today. I'm gonna shave too. I look terrible, but you look good. So you're carrying the show right now. What's popping, baller?
Thanks. Hey,
yeah.
Usually I come on and I talk about my QBs. Today I'm talking about your QB, Kellen Lewis Mond.
I didn't even know it's his middle name. I like him better now that his name is.
Hey, okay, so a little bit of research. Hey, so I was searching for film. I wanted to watch the All-22. I had to go back to the All Faithful, Grant Cohn, the LSU game, and
what'd you see? What'd you see?
The Alabama game. I rewatched both of those.
Okay.
And when we're talking his strengths, he's good over the middle.
No doubt.
Right? He's got a quick release.
Yes.
And when we're talking about his weaknesses, he doesn't have elite arm strength.
No, it's not. But I would say it's pretty good.
I'd say it's solid.
Solid. Okay. I can say solid.
When I'm talking about
also
just
for his strengths, his athleticism is a strength.
Yes, I'm not going there yet. Just on the strengths and weaknesses that I mentioned, they're very comparable to Jimmy, right? In terms of throwing over the middle.
I think he actually has. I think he's mentally processes better than Jimmy does.
Yes, I see that. Yeah. And my comp early on an earlier Cohn phone was Baby Cap, but maybe more up top. And I think that's evolved to another guy that you've mentioned already, and that's Alex Smith. I do see some Alex Smith.
He does it. He protects the ball. He makes good decisions. He could be a little bit more aggressive at times. Like, go ahead, use that athleticism. But maybe he just is very faithful to his coaching. And if you give him like another coach, like look what happened to Alex Smith when he got Harbaugh, Andy Reid. All of a sudden, he rose to the challenge. Maybe if he goes from Jimbo freaking Fisher to Kyle Shanahan, put him under center, let him do play action. I mean, he's only in the gun doing these little RPO. I hate that. Hate that offense.
So something that I noticed and I really liked, he's really light on his feet in the pocket. He's so light on his feet, and it's so different than Jimmy. Jimmy plays like he's stuck in mud.
Yes, he does. He's very heavy-footed. Kellen Mond is right on the balls of his feet. He moves quickly. That's a good point. What else do you see?
Yeah, that's what I see, and that's why I think Kellen would be a good fit in the 49ers offense right now as it's currently constructed. But there's a but. I went back and I wanted to watch 2016 Atlanta Falcons, Kyle Shanahan at his peak, right? Mm-hmm. They were averaging 34 points a game, 6.7 yards per play, right? Yes. So that's the peak of the Shanahan offense. And I wanted to go in thinking, what is he doing in Atlanta that maybe he's not doing in SF, right? And he is limited by the quarterback. There was so many more shot plays down the field, right? Yes. And Jimmy just doesn't give you that option. And I think Kellen, I also feel like almost might limit you similarly, but he does add the rushing element, right? And that is not to be underestimated.
The thing about Kellen Mond is his downfield throws sometimes are a little flat, although he can throw like the deep post with some air underneath it. I'd like to see what he could do with some serious receiver. I'd like to see what he could do with Kittle. I'd like to see what he could do with Ayuk and Debo, because I feel like part of the limitation in Texas A&M's offense, it may not be just his downfield accuracy. It may be the receivers and the scheme as well. I think you put him under center and give him play action, which he hasn't really had, all of a sudden he could execute a lot of the stuff that Mac Jones does at Alabama, as opposed to just slant all day. I mean, he can hit those and he's good at it, but I think there's more there. I could be wrong. It's hard to, it's such a projection. It's like, well, this offense kind of stinks. These playmakers are kind of stink, but like, let me try to see what just you're doing. It's not super exciting. It's a little Alex Smithy, but you might be able to win with him right away.
You know what? You're right. But I do feel like he's a guy that would need a strong running game and a defense. You know,
that's what he has at Texas
A&M. You would need
a
great team around him, and you can win with Mond.
Yes.
But that's why I don't want him in round one. To me, he's not a round one guy. And I know now his stock is on the rise. So it's like, if we do
round
get him,
two, you're cool with that. Round one, it's like, well, I have issues with this. Yeah.
Yes, I would, because I do want the element of being able to throw down the field and just the threat, right? Because the threat of it, defenses have to play you honest. They can't stack the box. So that's where, when I go back to 2016, let me tell you, Grant, I watched 2 games. I'm going to keep watching more 2016 Falcons. Through 2 games, 0 jet sweeps. 0.
Well, I mean, the offense has evolved a little bit since then, but you know Kyle wants to go down the field, and he doesn't because of Jimmy. And all I'm saying is the quarterbacks who go down the field the best in this draft, Zach Wilson aside, because he looked great at BYU. He did everything. But also Mac Jones, Kyle Trask. Those guys push the ball down the field all the time. All the time.
When I was watching Matt Ryan, the guy that kept flashing up, I was like,
Trask.
Shanahan's gonna like Mac Jones.
Oh, Mac Jones.
To me, it was Mac Jones. Just the deep throws and the touch.
Yep.
But hey, that's what I got for you today, big dog.
Can't wait to see your next breakdown. Yeah, plug it. Huh?
Bay Area Baller 18 on YouTube. I broke down Jimmy G, Josh Rosen, Brandon Ayuk, Cam Newton, JJ Watt just joined the division. All that's on there. Check it out. Subscribe.
I subscribe. You should subscribe too.
You're the man. I got 38 subscribers, but it's going up.
Boom! 38, baby. It's gonna be 39 in like 30 seconds. I love that, man. I was one of the original 38. So how about that?
Hey, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you too, man. See you next time. All right, real quick. Do you see Obi Melifonwu as an option at corner, 6'4" corner on this team? All the talent in the world. Draft Horn opposite Obi. Bring back Mosley. Yeah, vet minimum. I'm cool with Obi. Vet minimum. No bidding war for Obi. He has to really want to live and play and work in Santa Clara. Like, he's got to really like Chick-fil-A, because what Santa Clara has going for it is like, it has a Chick-fil-A, it has a Five Guys, it has an In-N-Out, it's got an IHOP. So if he likes one of those 4 places, then yeah, and he wants to play for about $800,000, yeah, come on down. There was one more, and I don't want to miss it, but I might have missed it. I'm so sorry if I did. No, boom, Maitland Eagle. Just wanted to say that the safety free agent market this year is full of talent. Yup, Keanu Neal, check it out. No reason to bring back Jaquaski Tart in his 6 games per season that he plays. All right, I'm trying to get people that weren't on yesterday, and I'm going to come back to people who were. Rob, it's been a couple of weeks. How are you?
It's good, Grant. Always glad to be back on, man.
Oh, okay, yeah, always glad to have you.
So we all know the Patriots want Jimmy G now. They're very public about it. Lynch just stated he wants to keep Jimmy. What do you think Jimmy wants? Do you think
I don't think it takes
Jimmy
a genius,
a better
man.
fit with McDaniels? Would he rather play for McDaniels? And is there bad blood between Jimmy and Shanahan?
I don't know, but I'm gonna guess and say yes, and yes.
All speculation here, all speculation. But
yes, I would have imagined the relationship between Kyle and Jimmy is professional at best. That they would give each other the courtesy that they would give to any fellow employee. But when they walk by each other in the facility, I would imagine that they look the other way. That's
I
that's
just
the sense
wonder
I
what
get.
happens behind closed doors. Like,
I bet you that Kyle is very, very blunt and rude, borderline
he's
rude.
like the
in some
older
of
brother of Jimmy that is just very hard on him, you know?
Very hard. And from Jimmy's perspective, like, dude, you can't win without me, for starters.
Right.
I did you a favor coming here in 2017 and winning all those games. And Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels really like me. You don't like me. They like me. I'm going with them and their rings. I can see that from Jimmy's perspective.
Jimmy's like Kyle's redheaded stepchild, you know? Like he wasn't the quarterback that he wanted in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And so
he is the redheaded stepchild. He's basically Kyle Shanahan is Mr. Dursley, and Jimmy Garoppolo is Harry Potter under the stairs. That's what's up. Right? Yeah, you're right. It's like, can I please go back to Hogwarts? I liked Hogwarts. I hate living under the stairs here.
Yeah,
sorry.
like Kyle.
You can't get anything for you. You're not worth anything.
I feel like Kyle wants to be the puppet master. You know,
yeah.
Kyle's system is so scripted. Every play is so scripted. Where Kyle 80% of the time looks like a genius. But that other 20% of the time where the play doesn't execute, it's all the blame goes on Jimmy. And I feel like Jimmy's just probably tired of that. You know, he's taking Kyle's getting 80% of the, you know, he's getting all the, you know, the success, like the hoorah. And then Jimmy's getting all the blame.
And taking it. Yes. And Jimmy gets all the blame. I think he's tired of it, man. And I think, if he did shut himself down for the end of the year and chose not to come back the way Kittle came back and Ward came back, I kind of get it. It's like, guys, I don't want to be here. Oh, you just figured, I don't want to be here.
Wait, the reason?
Yeah, I mean, Colin Cowherd came out a couple of days ago and was like, word is that he just shut himself down and didn't want to come back. Well, yeah, okay, trade me then. Oh, you don't like me anymore? You didn't like me to begin with. Trade me. And when the thing that tipped me off to me is listening to him talk very perfunctorily about Kyle. And then when he played the Patriots that week, he was talking about coach and coach and coach. And after the game, he was talking before the game, he was talking about Kraft. After the game, he's hugging Belichick and McDaniels. I'm sure there was some either specifically
there's some love affair going on.
Hey, man, come get me. Come and get me, please. Hey, we'll do what we can. Yeah.
But, I just can't help but think that.
Hey, you look like Jimmy, man. You gonna take that?
Jimmy's
a good-looking guy. I'll take that.
I'll take that.
He just likes your jawline, I guess. It's a strong jawline. You got a nice little wave going on too. I like that.
Oh man, I'm long overdue for a haircut. Holy smokes, long overdue.
Yeah,
thank you.
Hey,
but I can't help but think that Jimmy would like to go back to and play for McDaniels and Belichick. You know, I think in McDaniel's system rather than Shanahan's, it's more just drop back, scan the field, and he kind of decides his own fate, whereas Shanahan, he gives you the read. And if that read's not there, then Jimmy looks like the idiot,
Right.
And so
there's nothing Jimmy can do to be special here. He either executes Kyle's offense and is a guy, or he doesn't and he's an idiot. Back on the Patriots, he is Tom Brady's heir apparent. He is Bill Belichick's chosen. It's like, it's heady. I would want to be there too. If it's like the choice is go work at some publication that has like the greatest writer of all time who thinks I'm good, or go work at some other publication for some writer who hates me and thinks I stink. I'm like, man, I don't want to play. I can't please you. I don't want to please you. I want to go back there. That was fun. I don't want to please you, man. I can't please you. Yep. I feel Jimmy, man. Get out. It's like that movie.
Okay, so,
get out.
Yeah.
Get the hell out. Man. You gotta get out. Yep. They're just harvesting your body. Man, I gotta take the next call though, man. But that was really strong.
Man.
Thanks for coming on.
Grant.
I'll see you next time.
Yep. Hey, man. See you.
Peace. Okay.
What's up, Grant?
Thanks for waiting, man. I seen you in there. How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm good. Where you calling from?
Vallejo.
Oh, nice. That's what's up. What's on your mind?
Man, so I was thinking about Trey Lance. And so 3 things I was thinking about. 3 things that can't be taught: size, athleticism, and what was the other one? Well, mostly size and athleticism.
About the speed. Well, that's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the speed.
That's part of it. Yeah.
But the footwork. Footwork, because I was big on Kyle Trask as well.
Okay.
But then the more I started watching Kyle Trask and the more I started watching, who was it?
Lance.
Mond.
Oh, Mond.
No, Mond. I started thinking like they look good, but they seem a little robotic. Like I just seen in the NFL to where I could see them just not being as effective.
Fair. There's something
kind of,
certainly stiff about Mond, right? He's like,
yeah.
He's a little stiff. Yeah.
It reminded me of Steph Curry a little bit in a weird way. That one play where Steve Kerr's like, no, don't shoot it. He shoots it.
Yeah.
And he hits it. And Steve Kerr learned, hey, I got to back off of this guy. So it reminds me of Lance. Like we could almost be doing the same thing. Like, no, don't do it. Oh, wait, hold on. This dude's a star.
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of calls, or there were a lot of plays where you just shake your head.
That's the truth. He can do things. You're like, wow, man.
But then there were also some plays where someone's in his face, he's backing up, and I mean lasers it. You know,
he's got A+, A1 athleticism. Let me just tell you real quick my concerns. I wouldn't have them if you could take him in round 2, but in round 1, I got to bring up questions. So my question with Lance and I think I actually like him better than Fields. I think Lance has better mechanics, better throwing mechanics, and is a better runner. I think he's more creative as a runner. My question with Lance is like, he'll have games at North Dakota State, which is like the Alabama of Division II football. It's a serious team that's way better than theirs. So anyway, he'll have games where he'll be like 13-15 with 4 touchdown passes and like 15 passes the whole game. And with the way they structure things is basically one read, and if it's not there, run. I'm not saying he can't go through progressions. That's just how they use them, because do you really want him going through progressions, or do you want in college, or do you want to be like, hey, dude, run? Because when he ran, I mean, God, he's like the most athletic player on the field. He's crazy, man. He's like, I don't know. I couldn't tackle that guy. I wouldn't want to tackle him.
And the more I started thinking about it, I started thinking about Tom Brady, Jerry Rice, and Steph Curry. 3 of the things I feel like they have in common is they work harder than anybody.
True.
And they got that heart. They got that fire, which helps them work harder than anybody.
Yes.
So I started looking who in that draft is there's someone that's going to work harder than anybody.
Who's obsessed with improving and not just like making money or being famous.
Someone has that chip on their shoulder, and I don't see it from Zach Wilson. I don't want to say too much about him, but I think he seems very spoiled to me where I come from.
People held that against Josh Rosen. What about Zach Wilson, man? What about Zach? Zach Wilson's like Rosen on steroids. Keep going.
And so with those being said, man, heart has a lot to do with it. I mean, I don't know any of these guys personally, but I feel like Lance could be one of those guys that just wants to work harder than everybody to just
because he's worked so hard to get here. I mean, he's in kind of an obscurity anyway.
I feel like it's almost an advantage of him going to a small school and having less reps, because we've only seen a little bit of what he can do. Now I look at someone like Mond, we could say it's an advantage that he's been there for 3-4 years, but we've seen a lot more defined. We've seen a lot more of what he can do. I mean,
Lance is like, he might just be a freaking baller in the right situation with a little.
I was watching, people say, watching highlights isn't watching film, but I watched as much as I could from any source I could get. Yeah. And then I just started watching everybody's feet. I just started,
that's cool.
Not the runs, not on the run plays when they're passing. I started watching how they're avoiding pressure, what they do when pressure comes. And I just started looking at everybody's feet for just hours, the top 7 prospects. And man, I feel like the 49ers have to move up, take a shot like Steph Curry did. And just, Steph Curry could have got benched if he didn't hit some of those shots, but he didn't.
I don't think they got to move up for Lance. Lance, to me, I think people are scared because he didn't play this year. He might just be there at 12. Think about that.
I would take the shot. Hey, look, Steph Curry turned that organization from 300 million to how many billion? Yeah. Hey, Lance might not be that, but what if he is?
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh my God, we missed on Mahomes and Lance.
That's the thing. You going to do it again? I'm not sure if he's Mahomes or Allen, but he might be because he's probably the most physically gifted quarterback in the draft. Maybe even more. Who do you like? Quick before I let you leave. Who do you like better, Fields or Lance? Say they're both available when the Niners pick at 12.
I've went back and forth. I feel like the Niners like Fields more, but I would go Lance.
I think I like Lance. He's less experienced, but I think his mechanics are better. Fields, what Chris Sims said about the long throwing motion, that scares me. He's like, that's the same thing Cardell Jones had.
I've seen times where blitzes were coming and it just looked. I just feel like Lance at some certain points in times was able to still laser it in. He might be.
I think he's got a quicker release, and so which is helpful. So when you're under pressure, you don't have you can't do the whole wind up when you're off your back foot, losing your face. You need to make the snap throw like you're a shortstop, and Lance can do that better than Fields. Hey man, thanks for coming on.
No problem. Thank you, man. Enjoy
for sure. Have a good day, man. All right, Josh, I'm coming to you next, Josh. If you're there. What's up, Josh?
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on, man?
How you doing, man? Where you calling from?
I'm in Iowa.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
I've been a 49ers fan since I was like 8 years old. So over 30 years.
Okay.
I've got my son with me. But,
what's up, man? How you doing? Shout out. So what's on your guys' mind today?
To answer your question that you have at the bottom of the screen, I definitely think we should go for the second round pick over Stephon Gilmore. Although I don't think Stephon Gilmore would be a bad choice if that's all we could get for Jimmy. I also think as far as, just getting rid of Jimmy would be my number one thing for the offseason.
You and Joe Montana agree right there, man. Enough.
I just think we need
Jimmy experience.
Yeah. And as far as the Trent Williams thing, I think we need to let him walk, and I think we need to get 2 players for the price of Trent Williams.
2 younger players, 2 guys in their 20s who are more cost effective and younger than him. I'm with you, man. This team's getting too old.
Center and a left tackle. For the same price as him, that would be fantastic.
Yep.
I like Mond. I know you like Mond. If we could trade back and get Mond, that would be fantastic.
I don't know who the superstar quarterbacks in this draft will be. I just know I feel fairly certain that the Niners can win with Kellen Mond, and that's all that you really. I don't know that they can win with Justin Fields or Trey Lance. Those guys take some development. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely think Mond right now seems like he's the most well-rounded as far as athletic ability plus his throwing.
Yep.
Right.
He is the most well-rounded. I agree with that.
But I honestly would be happy with any of them over Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
If we just have a guy that can be on the field for 16 games, that's what we need.
That's a huge upgrade. Yes.
Right. So at this
it's not
point,
just Jimmy. It's Jimmy and his understudy. That's the Jimmy experience. It's like you don't know how many games that Jimmy will get, and then you get the backup, and that's the Jimmy experience.
Right.
Yeah.
So moving off Jimmy, just whatever.
Take whatever, a second, Gilmore, whatever. Yeah.
Right. If we can get a second, that would be great because then we could go quarterback with our first pick, and then if we got 2 second round picks. Then you go offensive line, maybe the guard position if we can get the center and the left tackle agency or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and then cornerback for the other spot because that's something we definitely need.
But the key of it all is moving on from Jimmy. So we'll see if they do.
Right. I'm hoping that we pick a quarterback with our 12th pick or move back a couple spots, maybe before the Patriots go. And, don't leave them with a lot of options. So then they're like, okay, we'll take Jimmy.
Sounds like your son's enthusiastic about that idea. Although he did yell no very loud. So I don't know, maybe part of it he wanted to tweak.
No, see, he's holding the football right now.
Hey, what's up, partner? How you doing? Who's gonna be the quarterback next year, man? Oh, what do you say?
Who's gonna be the quarterback, buddy? Can you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be better than Jimmy.
I think so too, man. It'd be cheaper. All right, Josh, I got to take the next caller, man. But thanks for coming on. Have a great day in Iowa.
All right, man. Thanks.
Have a good one. Take care. For sure. What's up, kid?
What's up, Grant? How you doing?
How you doing, man? Hey, what's up, man? I'm gonna have to make my voice way deeper when I go on with you. Let's talk. Let's talk. What's
all
up?
right, for sure.
Right.
So I have a little not a master plan, but like a little plan at quarterback and just a little bit of what we should do in the draft. So I got a
all
right, so I got a power move for you.
I like that. Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so I think we should sign Alex Smith and Fitzpatrick and just as two bridge quarterbacks, and then you kind of have them like duel it out. And I think if you're going to get both of them, I think in the draft, if Kellen Mond is picked in the first round, then I think you should draft either Ian Book or Davis Mills like late, and and if you have both of them as mentors for the rookie, I think that might be like a little secret technique to developing. So
I like Davis Mills. I think he's pretty good. I think Kyle would like him too. He only has 13 games of experience. So did Mitchell Trubisky. I wouldn't take him in, but the whole thing with Mills, you could probably get him in round 4 or something.
That's what I'm saying.
I haven't watched a whole lot of Ian Book, but I know that he's from Sacramento, and I know that Northern California quarterbacks tend to work out more often than not, and I don't know why. So he's got that going for him. Other than that, he scrambles around a lot. I don't know what kind of arm he has, but you wouldn't have to take him early, and he has a lot of collegiate success.
That is true.
He's a baller at Notre Dame, so yeah, maybe.
But I was going to say, if you're going to get the Alex Smith and Fitzmagic, and then you get like one of the quarterbacks late 3 or 4, then I would use the first round draft pick either on a corner or on an offensive lineman, because that's really an area you need to address. Because the quarterback, you can, if you're not going to get a first round prospect like Lance or Fields or Mac Jones, then just go late and fill in the holes that you need, like cornerback and offensive line. And a free agent cornerback that I would look at is Brian Poole. He kind of fits like a I don't think he plays in the nickel, but I know how Saleh would have the corners come off on a blitz, and he does that. He had like 3 quarterback hits last season.
Nice.
So good option.
That works. That's a good one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners target him. That's a good call.
Yeah, Brian Poole. I like that.
I like that plan. That's a good one. Yeah. If they can find another way to get a quarterback, they say they like Rosen, say they like these bridge quarterbacks, they can get a guy late that allows him to take the best player available in round 1. They don't have a corner. So that's key. I don't know if they'll end up doing it, but they might. They just might. Because it seems like, what is their plan at cornerback if this wasn't it? I mean, you knew all these guys were going to be free agents. What is the plan here? Last year, Lynch was like, we got a plan. So it seems like it's got to be this.
If they end up signing Ahkello Witherspoon, I wouldn't be upset, but you can't give him money, dude. You got to give him like a minimum and like 1 or 2 years.
$2 million maybe tops.
Yeah, that's it. Give him a high five and, a little slap on the back going.
Coconut smile, man.
Right. That's it. But if there's anything else you want to talk about, I'm willing to give my opinion on. That's all I had.
Nah, man, I got to keep it rolling, man. But thanks for coming on.
For sure.
It seems like the man cave's looking good today. Where are you calling from again? I forget.
Maryland.
Oh, dang. I must have never asked you. Maryland.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Out of Maryland. I've been a Niners fan since like 2009.
Why?
Pretty lame, right? You're from Maryland. Why?
2009. That was the season that hooked you. It was Michael Crabtree. Troy Smith.
Well, I was actually only like 5 years old, and it was because of Madden, right? You're probably like, all right, this is totally whack. Kid's from Maryland. Why is he a Niners fan? So my brother had like Madden, my older brother, and I got on there. I was playing with the All Legend team. I'm like, who is Joe Montana? Right? what is a Joe Montana? I did my research. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm a Niners fan from here on out. So first player I learned about. Absolutely.
Funny how you make a key decision at 4 years old and it sticks with you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Good stuff, though. Thanks for coming on. I'll see you soon.
For sure. Thank you.
For sure. Later, man. All the way from Maryland. Real quick, Rod Simmons says, Joe said next QB up. Yup. Watson should be the focus, and SF's culture says we only win championships with future Hall of Fame quarterbacks at the realm. Joe and Steve, why change that formula? That's a good point, Rod. Sorry, Rod. What I'm saying is, it's from reports, it seems like the Niners are basically holding out hope for Deshaun Watson. Like, we're not going to make a move for Teddy Bridgewater or Matthew Stafford or anyone yet because we want to leave Watson on. Benedict, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna get to you in a minute. Jones went from high first or day 2 to top 8. Rumblings of teams trading up for him despite his evaluation at the position unchanged. Make it make sense. I don't know. Jones went from high first or day 2 to top. Here's what happened. The media had one opinion of him from watching, you know what I'm saying? And then the NFL had another opinion. This is what always happens. These media scouts are like, oh, in like November or December, they're like, oh, this guy looks like a third round pick, but they haven't talked to their NFL. They haven't talked to the coaches yet. They've talked to maybe some scouts here and there, but the coaches haven't looked. The coaches look and they're like, oh, I like Mac Jones. And then they hit up, one of these media scouts and they're like, hey, you're wrong. Say you watched some film and had an epiphany. And they're like, hey, I watched some film, had an epiphany. Mac Jones is good now. That's how the game works. So good question. I saw you leaving, Benedict. I was like, nope, you're on deck, baby. What's up?
Hi. I just had to grab my phone.
Where are you calling from?
Germany.
Oh, snap. It must be late over there, man. Let's talk. Well, first of all, how'd you become a Niners fan in Germany?
The first game I watched was the Super Bowl between the Niners and the Ravens. That was the first game that was broadcasted in German TV.
Oh, wow.
And
so that game made you a Niner fan and not a Ravens fan?
Yeah, pretty dumb, but whatever.
Nah, it's cool, man. All right, so what's on your mind?
I wanted to know or your opinion on which QB of the top 5 do you think is the biggest bust in the future? Because
I like this
when you look up all the mock drafts from the draft experts and everything, they always have at least 4 guys in the top 10, and from the 4 guys, maybe one is a good starter.
Correct.
Last year, you could argue that Tua is a bust already. Joe Burrow is on a terrible team, and I think he will be hurt all the time, so that he can't prove his full potential. And therefore, I have the slight worry that this year there will be no difference, and the Niners will trade up and draft the wrong guy. For my personal opinion, I would draft Trask. I think he is exactly what Shanahan needs to work on his system, and we can maybe get him in round 2 or trade up in late first.
I'm with you on that. I think Kyle Trask does a lot of what Matt Ryan did for Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta. I think he could do a lot of that stuff. Matt Ryan doesn't have a huge arm, but he's a very aggressive downfield passer who has accuracy and anticipation and all of it. Trask has that too. You asked who the biggest bust is going to be. That's a really great question. Let's talk it through together. Early on, I would have said Trey Lance, but I feel like everyone's kind of agreeing on what he is, and he's going to drop a little bit and he'll be allowed to be a project who develops. So he may not be a bust. He may be drafted in the right spot. Justin Fields, people are hammering him. And I think people are starting to realize that, he's not the number 2 pick in the draft. He's a very good athlete, but he has a lot of the same drawbacks that other Ohio State quarterbacks have had. I think he's going to drop and go in the right spot. My question is Zach Wilson. People love Zach Wilson. He's going to go number 2. And to me, when you step back, he's got all the earmarkings of a bust. Only 1 year of really good production on a really weak pandemic schedule against the weakest teams that he's ever faced at BYU. He's already had shoulder surgery. He runs around a lot. Zach Wilson, I think, could be that. Because if he goes number 2 and Robert Saleh takes him, my prediction is Robert Saleh will be out of a job within 3 years tops. Coach killer, like Sam Darnold.
The organization is terrible.
Yes.
Nothing Saleh could do, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point. Not sure why he took that job.
The second one I would say is Lance. If he is with an organization which wants to start him relatively early, and I think with the inexperience, it could be I think he is more talented than Trubisky, but Trubisky had also less than 15 starts.
13.
I don't know exactly.
13. Yeah.
And he needed to start in the first season, and you see what he has done.
Random Electronic 2.0 says Mac Jones needs a flawless offensive line. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And he's not going to get that on the Niners. He's going to, Mac Jones, I have a feeling, is going to look like Jimmy on the Niners, or Nick Mullins. Good player, but it's a whole different ball game when you're not at Alabama behind, faking handoffs to Najee Harris. Every time you hand the ball, you extend the ball to Najee Harris, the defense freaks out because no one can tackle him in college. And then, play action, guys are wide open. He looks great. It's not going to be that easy in the NFL. Mac Jones could be another major, major bust because basically he's being talked about as a top 5 pick because Tua went 6 last year, and he's clearly better than Tua. But that doesn't mean that he's good because Tua looks like a career backup to me. Jones could just be a better career backup who's going to get drafted up. So it could be Jones too, man. At least Zach Wilson has some athletic gifts. Jones has none.
Honestly,
Trask is better than him.
Honestly, besides Lawrence, I think all of the 4, maybe Lance, if he lands with the Saints and can sit for 2 years or something. But I don't like the top 4 at all.
Yeah, I don't see why the Saints would even want Lance. They already have their athlete project quarterback that they've spent years developing in Taysom Hill. They already have that guy. They don't need another one. But someone like that, some team that sees him as like a Taysom Hill type that they could kind of develop slowly, he could be good at that because he is an amazing runner. Really a hell of a runner. You could get him on the field as a Wildcat quarterback immediately, and he could average 6 yards a carry like Lamar Jackson. As a passer, though, I don't know. Lamar Jackson was much more experienced and polished coming into the league than Trey. Yeah.
I would like Trask or Kellen Mond. I don't know if Mond is in the second round.
Yeah, it seems like his stock is going up because he has the athleticism the teams want, which will push him up the boards. Meanwhile, Trask, no one talks about him. Can you explain that?
I
don't get it.
I don't get it at all.
I don't get it either. I'll see what I can figure out. But thanks for calling all the way from Germany. I appreciate it. What city are you in?
Yeah.
Not that I know.
Huh?
What city in Germany are you in? What city?
I'm on the countryside near the Luxembourgish Belgian border. Yes. Bigger city. The next biggest city is Cologne.
Well, thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Have a nice day.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Oh, we got Jeff Hardison, though. I got to make an exception.
Come on, man.
What's up, Jeff?
I appreciate it, man.
But this is the last call of the day, and then I'm shutting it down because it's 11:04, and I'll only do this for Jeff. Because Jeff rocks my world, man. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? Every time.
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thanks for making a little extra room.
You always have a beautiful backdrop, too. You're always in like the middle of a nature hike, and you're centered. Yeah. I love it, man.
Yeah, it's my little Zen garden. No big deal.
That's what's up. I love it. Okay, let's talk.
All right, let's get to this here, man. So Gilmore versus second round pick.
His freaking notes. You guys got to step your game up because Jeff Hardison knows how to do it. All right, let's go.
We're rolling. So Gilmore versus second round pick, man. So second round pick all day. The reason for that, though,
thank you.
Yeah, all day. It's really not even close. The reason why is Gilmore is on the last year of his deal. So you're going to have to trade a Jimmy G, who could get you potentially your second or third round asset, or as far as draft capital is concerned. And then next year you have to try to re-sign him to some big, deal. He's 30 years old. You're going to have to, sign him to an expensive deal.
No, that's
doesn't
really
make
rental.
Too much sense. It's a 1 year rental. That's an expensive rental.
Right.
So using that capital, though, it really gives you a lot of options for the draft. So depending on, there's a lot of debate, and do you like this guy in the top of the draft? Do you like Kellen Mond? Let's say I did this part for you because I know you love Mond. If you want Mond so badly, then getting that second or third round pick for Jimmy is exactly what you want, because I think that you would want to get back into the first round for Mond, not just because that's where you think you could get him. It's because you could get him on 5 years.
That's right.
Exactly.
So you get him right in that Jordan Love area, right in that Lamar Jackson area, 26, 27. Yes, agree.
Yeah.
And that, you can't make that move up with, because we would have is the 43rd pick and the 46th pick, theoretically, package those suckers together. Boom. Kellen Mond. Love it.
You got your quarterback. Yeah.
Yep.
So you could take a corner early, you could or Rashawn Slater, whatever your flavor is, and then move up, get your quarterback, and now you solved your whole problem there, and you got rid of Jimmy. Another thing that was being talked about, though, a lot is get rid of Jimmy now. Do you cut him now? If you could trade him now, then yeah, sure. Take the deal you have now. But I think there'd be more of a draft day trade, and that's what I would advocate for, because I don't like the idea of tipping my hand. If we're getting rid of Jimmy.
That's what's happening. Don't you think that's what's happening?
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, we know the Patriots want. We know what the Patriots are willing to offer, probably. We know that Teddy Bridgewater's out there. What's the rush? Let's get our quarterback in the draft first and then make the move.
Yeah, if that's the route that you want to go, why would you tip your hand? Because one, we talked about trade-up scenarios within the top 10. If they really like a guy, that becomes instantly more expensive because it's a demand type of issue. And then also, if there's a guy that you really like, you're going to have Patriots, you're going to have Washington, some team like that moving in front of you potentially and taking your guy. So even if you were confident that, hey, we could sit back at 12 and get somebody, maybe not now because teams know that you're looking for a QB. So I think it sets you up better. And it literally seems like there's going to be a second wave of free agency in June 1st. And having $23 million in cap space, you're going to be able to clean up and fill in any holes in your roster there. 1-year rentals, cheap guys, but you can go and put a team together and make a run.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So trading Jimmy sets you up for the June 1 maneuvers at that point.
Yeah.
That works for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been shown that, look, they just freed up $11 million in cap space right there. So we are set up to be able to get some guys now in free agency. It seems like Lynch has never been a big splash free agency guy. So I think they're well set up right now for FA. So
if they make a draft day trade, when do you think it'll go down? Like after the Patriots pick at 14 and before the 20s come up because you're trying to trade into there for your quarterback? What do you think? How do you see that playing out?
Yeah. So it goes after the 49ers pick at 12.
Okay.
That's what I think. Okay. Because that's when it's like, hey, we just drafted a quarterback. Let's go play with that scenario.
Yeah.
We just drafted our quarterback at 12 or whatever.
Yep.
Now Jimmy's available.
Yeah.
And so what it does for you though is that I feel like, especially with a team like the Patriots, it raises the price of Jimmy.
Yes.
The reason why I say that is because all the quarterbacks are gone.
Right. You just took a guy at 12 and the Patriots couldn't. Say the Patriots really wanted Kellen Mond. That's their ace up their sleeve. The Niners take him at 12 or whoever. Maybe it's Mac Jones. I don't think Mac Jones will be there at 12, but if he is, that could happen. Yeah, he might not.
He might not. Which I don't agree with, but he might not.
He might
these
not.
guys are kind of getting pushed up and stuff. I'd advocate really just sitting at 12 and see how it shakes out. There's no reason to trade up for a guy like Justin Fields or Mac Jones. And I really don't think we should be trading up for Zach Wilson. I think we're on the same page there.
Yep.
Because you can stand pat at 12. If a guy falls to you that you really like, take him. Great. That's actually a really cheap way to acquire a quarterback. Just sitting there spending one draft pick, rookie deal. You got your guy. Or you can wait, potentially trade back into the first round, and grab your guy, Kellen Mond.
And then recoup some draft capital by trading Jimmy the next day or whatever.
Yeah, then you're good to go. You can get your second. I mean, people are saying a second. I didn't think we'd get a second. I thought we maybe get a third, but I'd love a second. That'd be cool. Sure.
Yeah.
But it's possible in the scenario when all of those quarterbacks are taken and the Patriots are sitting there going, oh my God, what are we going to do at QB? Are we going to roll it back with Cam? Oh, geez, And Belichick's a competitive guy. They want to get back in the playoff hunt. So they're looking for a quarterback this year. And that's how I think how you're going to get the most value out of Jimmy is in that sort of a scenario.
Love it. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. And you really open yourself up for the second round because there's some guys available in the second round that are really impressive. I mean, we got corners, we got even a center in the second round. There's a couple guys, your Cesar Ruiz over in Michigan. He's a center guard. So he gives you some flexibility there in the second round. You retain that pick by trading Jimmy. There's Greg Newsome out of Northwestern is another guy. He has some injury history, which concerns me. But Aaron Robinson, there's a few guys that could be available for us in the second round at corner and then also at center that can help fill in some gaps there. So it really opens you up, I think, by waiting, being patient with the trade with Jimmy, do it on draft day after you've secured yourself a quarterback. And then now you can fill it out from there. And then you set yourself up post June 1st to.
Because if you trade Jimmy before you've drafted your quarterback, drafting the quarterback becomes much more complicated. Everyone knows you got to take someone.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do you maneuver?
It'd be you can, it's just very expensive to maneuver. And you're trying to do this cheap and they really need all the draft capital that they have in order to fill in all these spots on the roster.
Also, if you're chilling at 12, if you're just waiting at 12 and everyone knows you need a quarterback because you already traded Jimmy, then people are going to be looking to jump ahead of you. And the odds of the guy you want just dropping to you at 12 diminishes greatly because every team that likes him too, well, I got to get to 11. I got to get to 10.
Right.
Because I know what the Niners are going to do. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they love Mac Jones. That's that's the apple of Kyle's eye. Well, probably. Yeah. But maybe he loves him. But then, it's been alluded that Bill Belichick and the rest of his staff, they like him as well, potentially. He could be a good fit there.
Right, no doubt.
So now you're not getting him.
Right, because of the Saban connection. If Saban likes him, Belichick drafts a lot of Alabama guys. That's a little pipeline there. Yeah. Real quick, help answer 49ers Ultimate Report's question. If Jimmy G is traded or cut, which current QB in the NFL or QB from the draft knows Kyle's offense?
Well,
Mac Jones to an extent. I mean, there's a little carryover between who's the dude in Alabama
or from the
Sarkisian and Kyle, because Sarkisian was the guy after Kyle.
Yeah, Mac would probably be the most pro-ready type of guy as far as being able to absorb an offense and have everything handled above his shoulders.
The verbiage, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because it is an NFL offense that they run over there in Alabama. I'm a big fan of it. I love their concepts. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's the big pull to Mac Jones. It's everything he does, what's going on between his ears. Yeah.
Big pull with Nick Mullins too.
Yeah. Yeah. But
and you know what? If Nick Mullins were at Alabama, he would have tore it up, dude. I'm telling you. If Nick Mullins were at Alabama, he would have tore it up. Behind that offensive line.
Fine college QB. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was a fine college QB at Southern Miss. You put him in Alabama, he might just be a top 10 pick. That's why these Alabama quarterbacks really scare me. They win national championships with NFL backup quarterbacks routinely. So how do you know?
Yeah, that's the projection that you have to do with any player, though. I mean, you could take a guy like Justin Fields, for example, and we're projecting based off of his athleticism, not necessarily off of his play entirely, because his play was up and down last year.
That's right.
He didn't have a flawless season, and he has issues with getting to his second reads, being late even on his first read. He's late on his reads. Yeah. So you're projecting certain things with him, and just like any other player. So you're projecting Mac Jones to take the next step, and that's a big part of the evaluation is, do you think this guy is going to take the next step? That's the biggest question, because if you have a player that you're drafting and you don't think that they're going to progress past where they've been in college, then that's a no play.
That's true. But here's the thing: any coach who likes CJ Beathard enough to take him in round 3 would like Mac Jones enough to take him in round 1. There's no question.
Yeah,
there's no question. And Kyle hasn't changed that much. Everyone's like, Kyle's had an epiphany. He realizes he needs this and that. No, man. Kyle's name is double down. He's doubled down on every decision, opinion he's ever had. And I'm telling you, if he likes CJ, he's gonna love Mac. Gonna love him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Mac Jones is a much more efficient quarterback. I think he's a little more, I think he's more cerebral.
Both of them have no physical gifts. It's all the toughness, the moxie, the whatever.
Right.
The intangibles.
Right. I like the way that Jones does feel pressure better. I know that there is tape of him getting a little squirrely in the pocket just when it gets tight. But and so there's a hard thing to evaluate there when you're looking at that. Is he scared of contact, or does he lack experience in the pocket?
I don't think he's scared of contact. He probably lacks experience in the pocket, because that's the way it is at Alabama. You don't have face pressure very much. If it's head on, he'll hang in there and take the throw if he can see it. But I feel like sometimes when it's closing in, he's like, oh, I got to scramble. Like, no, not in the NFL. You need to make that throw.
Oh,
you need to stay right there. Yeah.
No, you need to be able to hang in the pocket. And so he only has 17 starts. And that's the thing with a lot of these quarterbacks, is that they're not very experienced. A lot of these guys are juniors coming out. They don't have very much time under center, or at all under center, technically.
Right.
So it's just a big projection. So it's funny that you can watch tape and then two guys see two different things, in players and stuff. But
I mean, the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. They have the smartest football people in the world. And it seems like the league has been god-awful at drafting quarterbacks since forever, and have gotten no better at drafting the most important position in the sport. It's a total crapshoot every year. They have it's very interesting. It's very difficult to do.
Yeah, it's incredibly difficult. It's probably the most difficult position in all of sports to be able to acquire and to evaluate, because so much of it, I think, is cerebral.
Yep.
So much of it is, how does a guy handle pressure? How does a guy handle adversity? How is he, in the face of in the pocket and such, and all these different qualities? How does he absorb the offense? And does he have good coaching? And does he have good skills?
Also, how does he respond to fame and wealth once he's made it past the first hurdle? You've had some success in the NFL. Okay, how do you respond to fame and wealth and the fact that the league is going to figure you out? Are you going to continue to work hard? Because I've seen a lot of quarterbacks have a flash and then they're gone. You know what I mean? Like Jimmy. Now you're 29. You're worth $100 million. You've had some injuries. Where is your passion now? How much do you need to be great and need to improve? That's the kind of thing. But anyway, Jeff, thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Zen Garden. I'll see you next weekend, hopefully.
Absolutely, bro.
Peace, man. Late. Jacob, I got you, man. I said I was going to be over, but Jacob's been waiting for like an hour and a half, and you're the man, and I appreciate you. You got a real nice setup in the background, too. You were in your car. I don't know where you were going, but I made you wait, so I'm sorry. What's up?
Actually, I wasn't driving, so I was being safe.
That's what's up. How you doing, man?
Actually, I wanted to talk to you about running backs.
Okay.
I know that's really not a need. I know that's really not a need that we have, but I know
you could argue it is.
Ryan, you and Ryan touched on it this week in your video about Najee Harris. And if you're the Niners at 12, most likely he'll be there. Do you pass or do you take him? I mean, I think he's a guy that he can't miss. I mean, you say like Mostert's 29. He's he's in the final year of his contract. Jeff Wilson getting hurt a lot. We have no one besides Hasty, and after that, we're in trouble. You get a home run hitter like Najee Harris. He's not as fast as Kyle's backs like to be. Like I know Raheem Mostert's a track guy. Reed is a track guy. But
you have track guys on your team. Yeah. Imagine like a 1-2 punch of him and Raheem Mostert. Look, I just haven't watched enough of Najee Harris to give you a real good answer. I'm going to start watching him more. I have the tape, and it's a pretty easy position to evaluate when you slow it down and watch it from the end zone. You can see the holes. You can see if he sees them, and you can see what he does when, after contact, things like that. But just in general, I feel very uneasy about drafting a running back in round 1 unless he's really for any reason. Like, I loved Saquon Barkley. I felt like, no, he's worth it. And I argued at the time, and now he's hurt. And it's like, well, that's the whole thing with running backs. He could be great, but if he gets hurt, then it doesn't matter. And I know Najee kind of like, he's big and he hasn't been hurt yet. I don't think. Maybe he's a freak like Derrick Henry, in which case you're dumb for passing on him. But Derrick Henry was a 2nd round pick. If not, you could get Najee with the 43rd pick, right around where Tennessee got Derrick Henry. Then he's probably worth that. But at 12, oh man, I would probably. But without having watched a ton of them, it would just make me uneasy. I'd have to see a lot of clips where people say like, no, he is definitely the next Derrick Henry. And I don't know if he's that, because I think Derrick Henry is basically a cyborg who was made in a lab and isn't really human. And I don't know if there's ever going to be another one of those.
Let me throw another situation by you real quick.
Okay.
So let's say at 12 we sit there, and I know Yeshel was talking about corner. So say we take Horn at 12, which I really like. Horn.
Okay.
You get the corner you need in the back of the first round. You trade back in. It's not a quarterback, but you get Najee if he's available. Would you be upset with that, or you want?
I wouldn't be upset with that. I guess I wouldn't be upset with that. That would be more palatable taking Najee in the late first. Look, I got to watch more of him because Ryan says he's like the best player in the draft. He's his 4th best player. Do you think he's that good? You've watched more of him than me.
I think so. You know who is another good back? The Clemson running back, Travis.
Etienne. Yep. Etienne. And I hear the guy from North Carolina is really good too. Some people like him the most, the North Carolina guy. So maybe they do. That's Kyle's MO, is to make a big investment in a running back, a big one. And it could be in the draft this year. We're not really thinking about it. But if you think last year, they had to start Jerick McKinnon multiple times because they had so many injuries at running back. Mostert's had injury issues his whole career. So is Jeff Wilson. They may make a big time investment that, most people wouldn't make because most people don't like investing in running backs. Kyle does. He did it with McKinnon. He did it with Coleman. Did it with Williams. Could happen. It could happen. I think Tevin Coleman in Atlanta was a 3rd round pick. So we might be thinking like, if they don't do it round 1 or round 2, they'll do it round 3. So we should be thinking about that. That's a good point. Yeah.
So before I let you go, I do want to say Kellen Mond is the real deal. I hope we get him. I don't know what it takes. I don't care where we get him. Just take him.
It's a real deal, right?
On that one, man. We got to.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have to.
Yeah.
I think, and I wouldn't be disappointed if, I mean, he's going to work out, I feel. But, anyways, thanks, Grant.
I don't have that many questions about him. I don't have that many questions about him. He's a good decision maker. He's athletic. He's accurate. He has a strong arm. He's experienced. I just don't have any questions. I don't know if he's going to be like a guy that ends up getting $100 million contract one day, but who cares? On a rookie deal, I think he's going to be a starter and a winner, and that's really all you can ask for.
And what you said is really important, that he has experience. He's played a lot of games. He's played against the best talent. And what more do you want? The proof is in the pudding. It's right there. And
he produced. He won. He didn't. He was something like Johnny Manziel, who was definitely carried by Mike Evans. I mean, Manziel went to the same school. He went to A&M, and you would watch him. He would scramble around, throw the ball up. Mike Evans would make a great catch and make Johnny Manziel look good. That is not what happened to Kellen Mond at Texas A&M. He was throwing very precise passes to covered receivers for 4 years, and that's going to translate to the NFL. Yeah. Jacob, man, thanks for calling in, dude.
Well, Grant. Yeah, man, it's great as always.
Have a great day. You too, man. I'll talk to you next time. All right, guys, thanks for calling in. We had one more donation. I'll hit it real quick. Ken Gainwell, running back out of Memphis. All right, man. Shakobia Luckett. And that's a hell of a name, by the way. Shakobia Luckett. Ken Gainwell. I wish the running back's name was Shakobia Luckett. I would like the running back better out of Memphis. But Ken Gainwell, that's a B+ name. Shakobia Luckett is an A++ name. Oh, man. But you can't get what you want all the time, you know? Ken Gainwell, I'll check him out just because Shakobia Luckett suggested him. On that note, I'm going to go prepare for my 115 appearance on Vish's channel. If you're a Vish fan, I'm on today at 115, Blake and Vish Sports. See you then on his channel.